So what's your name?
My name's Anika Singer.
And where are we?
So we're here in Temple Hills, Maryland, nearby the Development Wellness Clinic. So it's a new facility within this area where they're trying to offer, services for health, addressing things like mental needs and physical health, and having stuff like physicians, or even thinking about having a dental clinic, and also things that'll address, mental health and other social services. So it's basically a huge wellness and health package into one facility. Yeah.
So do you think this community needs something like that?
Definitely. So I recently interviewed someone. Her name was Fran. She's been in the area for a while, and she was saying that whenever there's something like this, whether it be a program, facility, you can never run out of things like this. There are always people who benefit from it, and especially within this area where there's not a lot of health food options and that sort of stuff. It'd be really helpful for everyone.
Where did you meet her?
I met her in the Aldi's. So I was in a grocery shop, and she was actually shopping for healthy food and talking to me about it. And there were other people in that area, so yeah.
Did you walk around with her while she's pushing her cart?
Actually, we went to the side, and we were having a really good conversation. She was telling me about her personal life, how it was growing up in this area, so yeah.
So what did you learn about her?
So I learned a lot of things. So first things first, she was very family oriented. She has a few kids. She lives with her mom, who she takes care of. The people in her area have lived in that area for a while. She seemed like a really open-minded, just a really sweet and generous person. And she was saying that a lot of people in this area are super supportive, and that they care a lot about the people around them. It's just that there needs to be more things to make those sort of stuff tangible. So yeah.
So she had a sense of community cohesion.
Exactly.
But there needs to be more things to connect people. Is that your sense?
Yeah.
So that was one person. Who else?
Well, we interviewed some other people near a barber shop, and they were just saying how, in general, health, they had a more casual attitude about it. They're just like, health, it's just a thing, And I feel like for a lot of people, they don't really sit down. They might have these conversations, but it's not like an in-depth sort of complex thing that they think about. It's more so if the resource is there, then they're going to go and grab it. So it's just something like you need more things to start stimulating the conversation, and just like things for people who don't talk about this sort of stuff, just an action item right there for everyone to grab it.
So I want you to just kind of compare and contrast what you did on campus, because this is your first foray into the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Talk about that difference, what you thought this was going to be and what it actually is. The interviews you did with fellow students on campus and now with real people. Compare and contrast. What was that like?
Okay, yeah, so my perception was kind of different. I didn't think that we'd be going out because you guys were just, okay, now go and interview the community. And I was like, I thought we were just going to come in and be like more structured, we're just going to like go to individual people and that sort of stuff. And usually on campus when we interview people, it's mostly people that we know, people in the same demographic, same age range, people we're more comfortable and familiar with. It's not like you're out in a neighborhood, it's more in there's a sense of security and stability, And within this community, it was great to interact with other people because it's like you don't have that certain, age group connection. You don't have you have this, you can connect on different levels that you may not necessarily connect with people on campus due to your similarities, if that makes sense. So I just thought it would be more, structured, but in its unstructuredness in a sense, you were able to learn more and be more hands-on. So
now that's interesting. Do you think it made for more spontaneity?
Exactly. I feel like a big thing that I learned was that spontaneity kind of is a basis, in a sense, for innovation. Because in class, when we're in that structure or when we go by syllabus and we're using the post-it notes, we're getting ideas, but then sometimes when you're in the moment, you learn more because that's where life experiences come from. It's not off a textbook or written post-it notes. It's out being in the real world, interacting with real people who go through different experiences in life.
Now I'm going to ask you something obvious.
Yeah.
Because you're an observant Muslim woman.
Thank you. Yeah.
And so therefore, what was that like, walking up to people who necessarily were not? Do you think that was, just talk to me about that.
Yeah, so the thing about that is that I feel like, in a sense, coming from religion where it's more so marginalized, and I feel like a lot of people would agree with that, it was easier for me to to have a certain sense of who would be more willing to talk, you know? And I also have a sense of connection with other people. It's easier for me to go and talk to certain, you know, demographics and that sort of stuff because I am Muslim, and I feel like just in general, from like, you know, one minority to, you know, another minority, it's easier to find a common basis. It's just easier to interact and talk about certain things. You can be more upfront, you can be less politically correct, and it's just, it opens doors to conversations because they're more comfortable talking about you, talking about certain things with you because they know you understand. Like when I was talking to a friend in the grocery market, she was like, you know, for Black people in this area initially it was pretty hard, and she's like, you know, fair and well, like, you know, sometimes it's hard to get the help you need and that sort of stuff. And I was like, yeah, like definitely we can talk more about that, blah blah blah, and we did, and it was really great.
Now, who was your partner?
My partner was John A. So we initially were there together, and then when we were in Aldi's at one point, you know, we split up a little bit to get a feel of the other people there and see who was more receptive to us and if they'd be more receptive to us individually. And some people were, so then we tried that.
Any final take-home message?
Well, this is a great class, and I recommend that everyone take this class and you learn a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.